time to vote, Eastern. Get to know your candidates. Coming up on News 22.
Good evening and welcome to News 22. I'm Christina Janitatis.
And I'm Sierra Brown.
At approximately 2:10 a.m. on April 10th, two students reported that they were victims of a strong-armed robbery. The incident occurred in the Tingley Street area of Willimantic. The victims described the suspects to the Willimantic Police Department as 4 or 5 Hispanic males. No further description was given by the victims. No weapons were shown and there were no injuries reported. The Eastern Police Department would like to remind students to always be aware of your surroundings. Never walk alone and always walk in well-lit areas.
The ECSU Police Department is currently investigating an incident that took place between 1 and 2 a.m. on Sunday the 12th. A student reported a strong-arm robbery in the parking lot behind Kramer Preschool. The victim described the suspect as 5'7" African-American female with medium to dark skin, a masculine build, broad shoulders, and cornrowed hair. There were no weapons or injuries reported. If you have any information about this incident, contact the Willimantic Police Department.
On this past Sunday, after an airplane pilot quickly died while in descent, it was left to the crew to man and land the plane. Passenger Doug White actually had airflight experience in a Cessna 172 aircraft from 1990, but had not flown since then. However, when the situation arose, White stepped up to the seat. With the help of air traffic controllers, he managed to successfully land the plane into a Florida airport. The actual pilot's cause of death has yet to be determined.
President Barack Obama is heading to Summit of Americans this week in Trinidad and Tobago. The president takes a trip to Latin America, where he says the U.S. should not tell the countries how to structure their democratic practices. Listen, learn, and talk to them as equals. Obama is to travel later in the week to Summit for meetings with the Latin American leaders.
It's still about jobs, jobs, jobs. Until the unemployment market starts showing signs of improvement, there will be slim shots of growth poking up through the destruction left by the worst economic meltdown since the Great Depression. That's even though banks say they're getting back in the black. Home sales are perking up and inflation is low. It's simple. No jobs means no spending, even though President Barack Obama sees a light at the end of the tunnel.
The Obama family has welcomed a new member to Pennsylvania Avenue. Bo Obama, a 6-month-old Portuguese water dog, made his debut Tuesday afternoon. The Obamas were seen walking their new puppy in the South Lawn. The Obamas chose the name Bo after Mrs. Obama's father, who was nicknamed Bo Diddley. The dog was a gift from Senator Ted Kennedy, who has 3 Portuguese water dogs. The medium-sized breeds are known for their high spirits and good for people with allergies.
The late Paul Newman is the latest Connecticut native to be inducted into Connecticut's Hall of Fame. The famous actor and humanitarian died of cancer at the age of 83. He's been in 64 movies over 50 years and won the Academy Award for Best Actor. Not to mention, he's created delish organic food products and dressings with his own brand, Newman's Own. With the profits from the company, he helped the community establish hole-in-the-wall gang camps to help children with cancer. Newman will be inducted at the Legislative Office Building in the state capitol in Hartford.
Are you one of the millions of people who are tweeting? Twitter, the popular micro-blogging site, has been growing in numbers. The free social messaging utility allows Twitter users to update their followers and stay connected in real time, in 140 characters or less. Now, Ashton Kutcher and CNN are in a race to 1 million followers. CNN's breaking news feed is in the lead with more than 968,000 followers as of Thursday morning, while Kutcher has 956,000. Ashton threw down the Twitter gauntlet and challenged CNN and its founder, Ted Turner. If Kutcher wins, he tweeted, he will ding-dong ditch Ted Turner's house and post a web video for his followers to see.
American Idol judge Simon Cowell is heard to be planning an Idol exit. According to Simon, he states that most people do one show a year, and he does 3, and they involve a lot of traveling, and he has 1 year under contract, so it will be most likely to be the end of the show for him. In addition, Simon added that he is launching a big new show next year, although details still remain confidential.
Oh, summer, a time for sunshine, beaches, and cheap gas. That's right, the Energy Information Administration predicts that gas prices will remain relatively low for the summer. Regular grade gasoline is expected to be monthly average for $2.30 a gallon. That is quite a difference as compared to the average cost of $3.81 per gallon last summer, before prices soared past $4 per gallon for a few months. So, if you're thinking of taking a road trip with your friends this summer, don't hesitate.
Next Monday is Earth Day. Take the day to appreciate Mother Nature and the living things around them. For Earth Day, R.A. Megan and R.A. King will host a program teaching residents how to grow flowers from a seed. Residents will learn about the germination process of seeds and how plants have an impact on the environment. This will teach residents responsibility because plants require full and constant attention, such as watering daily and providing sunlight for the photosynthesis process. The event will begin at 8 and end at 9 p.m., so be sure to stop by.
So what would the world's temperatures and the planet look like in 2010 if greenhouse gas emissions continued as is? And if they were cut by 70%? Researchers at a well-known climate center asked those questions and used a computer model to conclude that it'd be catastrophic if unchecked, but manageable if the world could reduce gases by that much.
This week in Winthrop Hall, residents were asked to turn off all items in their rooms that uses power except a refrigerator. They were then offered alternative activity that did not require the use of electricity. Such activities included board games like Monopoly, Sorry, and Jenga. Other activities were cards, wiffle ball, and frisbee. The purpose of this was to conserve energy and electricity while allowing residents to realize how people lived happily without the necessity and enjoying their everyday hobbies at the same time.
There comes a time when every woman goes through some hard times and is afraid to discuss them with someone or one another. Well, listen up, females. Tomorrow is the event for you. Mead Hall resident assistants Kelsey Watson and Corinne King are hosting an event especially for females only. They will lead discussions about problems young women may experience throughout their lifetime. Residents will be able to write on a piece of paper at the beginning of the program and they are what they're interested in discussing, but may not want to bring up themselves. We will also be giving out pillows to the first, then residents, as well as giving out small prizes for participating in the discussion. There will also be food and beverages, fun games, and time for everyone to get acquainted with each other.
Do you want to speak out about the issues of the war in Iraq? Next Monday, residents in Wyndham Street Apartments will have the chance to learn about the history of tie-dye and different statistics in regard to the war in Iraq. Residents will be able to socially engage with one another and hopefully learn about the issues and problems in the modern-day war. Be sure to stop by High Rise Apartments at 9 o'clock. The event will go until 10 o'clock.
The time has come to cast your vote, Eastern. News 22's Megan Fox talked to the SGA candidates to find out more about who you're voting for.
SGA works as a liaison between the clubs and organizations on campus and the administration. Next week, the Student Government Association will be holding their annual elections. We got a chance to talk to each of the candidates.
I'm running for SGA president to bring the focus of student government back to the students and to give the students what they need. And we want their input, so I want to be the liaison for students to come to and say, you know what, we want these changes, and I want to make those changes for them.
I'm running for vice president because I feel that right now student government is very strong. Mike and Sultan have done a great job this year. However, next year I want to keep it going strong, and I feel as a senior I have a lot of experience in student government, and hopefully I can continue to make it stronger. Right now we're focused on what we do. Like, we have gone on so many retreats and so many conferences, and I feel like one thing student government needs to focus on is helping the clubs out while still staying strong. So that's something I plan to do, is cut back on our retreats and push that money to clubs and let them build themselves and have us help them in the background.
If I were elected vice president, I would like to make the campus pride stronger, also the commuter-resident relationship stronger. I plan to attend many meetings regarding finances to make sure that kids who need financial aid and stuff could be helped out. And I would just like to get the students' voices heard so that we would have a better environment on this campus.
I feel that I can fit that position well. I can continue Allie's success as the treasurer's role. I feel like I can manage money well and, adding my input and my opinion sometimes when it comes to managing money for SGA and splitting it up with certain clubs and organizations.
The one thing I want to be able to change is definitely, like I stated before, the way club involvement is. I know that a lot of people have asked how clubs can get out there and how do they make themselves as good as the Campus Activity Board or even as good as Student Government Association. And I want to show them that they have the potential and they have the materials that even those organizations have, even though they don't have the money for it, that we could help them and that we have the skills to be able to provide for them and that they can be just as powerful as any other organization on campus.
Bring new ideas, stay organized, of course, and just progress and help SGA grow in general and reach out to like a different crowd that we don't normally go toward.
As BAM chair, I would enforce the guidelines. So it says you get X amount of money, you get X amount of money, and no more, no less than that. So
You can vote for the candidates online on the Eastern website, April 26th through the 29th. Outside SGA office, I'm Megan Fox for News 22.
SGA will be holding its annual elections for spring 2009 next week. There will be a debate on April 21st at 12:30 p.m. in the Student Center Theater, where you will hear the voice of all the candidates running in the election. SGA will be in the Student Center next week with laptops and free t-shirts for voters. Also, look for ballots in your email to cast your vote.
On Tuesday, April 21st, the American Red Cross will be hosting a blood drive from 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. in the Betty Tipton Room of the Student Center. Participants may include Eastern students, faculty, and staff, as well as members of the community. Donors must be at least 17 years of age and have either a photo ID or a Red Cross donor card. Participants are encouraged to schedule appointments.
And News 22 will return after this break with this week's editorial.
Jess, I don't know what to do.
What's wrong? I thought today it was the night. What happened?
I know it's supposed to be, but he doesn't have a condom. He said he doesn't have any money. He spent it all at the bar.
Well, don't go through with it if he doesn't have a condom.
I know, but he really wants it.
Oh, I know. I heard the other day that Health Services gives away free condoms.
Free condoms?
Free condoms!
Whoa! Did I just hear you guys say free condoms?
Free condoms!
Health Services not only takes care of you when you're sick, but helps you stay healthy. They provide free information, services, and free condoms. They have male and female condoms and are there for any questions you have. Stop by Health Services for any questions or concerns. Remember, Eastern, stay safe.
Hello, little prince. Mother, what we gonna do today?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're back, and we have with us James Wolfe with this week's editorial. James?
Thank you. You know what, people? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sick of it. And by it, I mean all this partisan bickering going on in the media. I mean, honestly, what gives? You've got Fox News with a right-wing base promoting tax day protests called tea parties. And then you've got MSNBC and CNN calling the protesters teabaggers on the air, and both sides calling what they do on air everyday journalism. I mean, honestly, what is our media system coming to? Is there anyone out there who tries to comment on current affairs that doesn't operate with a blatant and outright partisan agenda? I mean, gee whiz. Okay. I'll calm down. It's just, I love my country. I want it to be here like it is today for my children and their children's children. Let me compose myself. Okay. By the way, Eastern's holding student government elections next week, and you'd be a fool not to vote for Dan McHugh for treasurer. Besides being smarter, more handsome, and better at pig wrestling than his competitors, he's also the best candidate. So keep that in mind come election day. Do it for America, because I know Dan McHugh is just as angry as you and I am about the partisan hacks that run the media system. And as treasurer of SGA, maybe he can bring about the change we believe in. For News 22, I'm James Wolfe.
Real bad experience with alcohol.
My first experience with drinking.
My first experience drinking.
I went shot for shot with a bunch of guys.
Gulped down the whole thing.
We finished a liter.
I drank a little bit too much.
There was a lot of vomiting. I ended up passed out in a closet.
I had to go to the hospital because I was sick. Found out that one of my real close friends was in the hospital.
I was 13, 14.
15, 13.
It's never too early to start reading to your kids. Are you prepared for what awaits you? There are amazing possibilities when you open a child's mind to reading. Log on to the Library of Congress website and let the journey begin.
Our well-being on campus. By taking precautions.
Tickets for the spring concert featuring the famous rapper Nas went on sale this past Monday and are selling fast. The concert will be held on May 9th in the Geisler Gymnasium, and tickets are $10 for students and $15 for guests. Make sure you buy your tickets soon before the show is sold out. If you have any questions regarding this event, contact the Campus Activity Board.
Eastern's Friday After Dark will be hosting a Spring Fling dance this Friday, April 17th from 9 to 12 in the BTR. Guests are encouraged to dress in spring apparel, such as their favorite sundress or khaki pants. The dance features a hip-hop DJ, various raffles, and refreshments will be served throughout the night. This event is free of charge, and the first 50 people will receive a free t-shirt.
April showers bring May flowers. On Monday, April 20th, residents of Noble Hall will be going green. Students will be given clay pots, small plants, and seeds to plant different flowers. Students will be planting the flowers to promote fresh air and the natural environment. The event takes place in the ground floor lounge of Noble Hall at 10 p.m.
On Monday, April 20th, the debate team will be hosting a debate on the pros and cons of having a wet or dry campus. The event takes place in the Student Center Theater and will be held from 3 to 4 p.m. Come voice your opinions in the extremely controversial topic.
Housing has made some recent changes in the room draw process. Currently, if you do not want to switch rooms at the end of the spring semester, you are allowed to keep your room. However, after this semester, everyone will be required to leave their current dorm rooms and re-enter the room draw process every year. Carmen Chow spoke to Eastern students to find out what they think about this future change.
There are many changes being made around campus, including the room draw process. I spoke with students to ask how they feel about this upcoming change.
If you want to live in the same place, you should, be given the option instead of just everyone being thrown into a big soup bowl and names being picking out and get a place here or there.
I think it's fair to the incoming students because there's such an overflow coming in, but it's not fair to the students who want to stay in their room.
I hope it doesn't involve evicting me out of my room, and I've been there for 2 semesters. I like it and I want to stay there.
I think it's fair, and I think everyone should have to re-enter the room draw, because currently I'm trying to get into Nutmeg and Laurel, but since you can stay, it's really hard to get in. There's not really a lot of spots left.
Once you go through the process once, I feel that you really shouldn't have to go through the process all over again.
I just think it's unfair because I kind of waited to go into room draw too to get a nice room, and now that I have it, it's just now I'm gonna have to move all my stuff out, and who knows if we'll be able to have roommates that are the same, because you don't know what your number is gonna be, and it just kind of just jumbles up everything.
I think it's necessary because it may not give other people opportunities to the incoming freshmen to have the opportunity to live in the better housing areas like Laurel or Nutmeg. So it gives everyone the same opportunity.
Although many students find this process unfair, students will still be required to go through the room draw process next spring. Inside of Webb Hall, this is Carmen Chow, News 22.
Thanks, Carmen. If you have any questions regarding housing for next semester, check out the housing link on Eastern's homepage.
Residents of Noble Hall will be participating in the Walk for MS on Sunday, April 19th. Contact Michaela Sullivan to sign up and attend this program, or sign up in the Noble Hall front office. Dunkin' Donuts will provide a free breakfast for all participants.
The ECSU Repertory Dance Troupe will be showcasing multiple styles of dance, including hip-hop, jazz, lyrical, tap, and modern, in their dance show on Sunday, April 19th. The show will be held in the Schaefer Auditorium at 12 and 6 p.m. Tickets are $3 for students and $5 for the general public.
The 2009 Arts and Sciences Research Conference and Exhibition will be held in the Science Building from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Some of our best undergraduate students will present the results of research and creative projects that they have done while here at Eastern. Admission is free and refreshments will be available.
Residents who choose to run for Mr. and Mrs. Meade Hall will campaign themselves and try to raise the most money for charity. They will have to answer several questions as well and display a talent and model formal wear. They will be judged on all 3 categories. The 2 residents with the most money raised will win the title of Mr. and Mrs. Meade Hall. It starts at 8 p.m. on April 22nd in the Meade Hall Commons.
News 22 will return with sports after this quick break.
Listen up, Energy Hogs. We got a real porker of a house here. Get in there and waste some energy.
There's no insulation, boss. It's hog heaven.
Wiki windows, too. This is gonna be a breeze. Perfect. Go wild and waste some wattage.
Yay! Time to tan. Oh, there's hot water for just 1 pair of pants. My kind of place. This thing's so old, it's gonna take me hours to get dry.
Keep wasting. They'll never know what hit them till
Boss, they're home. You've got the power to get rid of Energy Hogs. You can help your parents add insulation, put in Energy Star appliances, and lots of other things to make your home hog-free. Find out how at energyhog.org and play fun games, too. Free. Energyhog.org.
We're back, and we have with us TJ Subnowski with sports. TJ?
Legendary football coach and broadcaster John Madden announced this week that he is retiring. The 73-year-old Hall of Fame coach for the Oakland Raiders, but best known to millions as a famous football commentator. He won 16 Emmy Awards for outstanding sports analysis and personality. Junior attack Courtney Badock scored 4 second-half goals, and junior attack Brooke White and freshman midfielder Nicole Shustock added 3 each after the break as the Eastern Connecticut State University women's lacrosse team rolled to a 20-8 Little East Conference victory over Western Connecticut State University on Tuesday afternoon. A winner of its last 4 out of 5, Eastern, with a 5-7 record, stretches its conference streak to 19 games with its 13th consecutive victory over Western. Men's lacrosse was triumphant over UMass Dartmouth on Tuesday, winning 10-7 against the Little East rival. After a trivial first half, Eastern staged quite the comeback, including the scoring of 3 goals in a span of 34 seconds during the third quarter. Sophomore Eric Vassell and senior Kyle Savage put on quite the show for the Warriors, advancing them to an 8-3 record and remaining undefeated in the Little East. In softball news, freshman Molly Rathman pitched her 5th one-hit game in 12 starts this season, powering Eastern over Western Connecticut State University. This put Eastern at an 8-0 record in the Little East for the season. The men's baseball team lost a close game to non-conference rival Bridgewater State on Wednesday, bringing their record for the season to 21-6. Though junior Travis Bass and senior Sean Gilblair tied the game at 4-all in the top of the 9th inning, a walk-off RBI by Bridgewater cost Eastern the game. On Saturday, April 18th, the rugby team will be traveling to Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and the team will be playing in the Beast of the East tournament. So good luck, Ruggers. And that's it for sports, and I'm TJ Stumkowski. Have a great night, Eastern.
Well, that's it for our show. I'm Sierra Brown.
And I'm Christina Janitatis. Have a great night, Eastern.